there's a real quick little video that you showed of it's China, right?
Yeah, it was Chinese believers.
Yeah, Chinese believers receiving some Bibles, and I want to show that really quick. And so here you go.
感谢主了，感谢主。
感谢神啊！
感谢主。
感谢神，我们太需要了。当我看到这本书，我都看到了那些帮助我们的弟兄姊妹们，他们的血和力到处来的。这是我们教会这个时候最需要的，真是我们最需要的时候。
Now, you ended up mentioning every time you watch that, you get choked up. And I think everybody who was watching it in the room was choked up with you. We all needed that moment to kind of, okay, we can settle and let's try to focus in.
Yeah.
But we talked about already the American church culture, becoming complacent or apathetic, to our situation and to others. Do you think that if we ended up maybe being more involved in missions, because there's so many Christians that have never been, I know of some Christians that have never left like Shasta and Trinity County in California. Do you think that would help in that?
I think at the very least, what it does is to give us a broader perspective of God's work. And it kind of goes back to how we wrapped up the message. Okay, so we wrapped up the message on Sunday by looking at the throne. That's the promise to the church at Laodicea. The church that was terrible, the church that had shut Jesus out, right? He said, look, I'm standing here, I'm outside, I'm knocking, let me come in. And to this really bad church, he makes the promise, you'll sit on the throne with me. And we took just a moment and talked how important the throne is in the book of Revelation. That 45 times it's mentioned, the throne of God, the throne of God, the throne of God. And I think one of the key things in that is that when we think about the throne of God, we recognize that we are a part of something that's much bigger than us. Because it's not about what we have going on here, as much as we love our church, but we are a part of God's work around the world, and that work is orchestrated or overseen from the throne. And when we get outside of ourselves, and maybe we go to Africa, like a group will be doing later on this summer. We get to Mexico, we get to San Diego, because I've heard that's like a different country. We begin to see that God's work is so much greater than what we have going on here. And that God's work continues on even when there is true and legitimate persecution and opposition. And seeing that and recognizing that we are a part of something that's much bigger than ourselves really begins to motivate us to say, I need to do this more. Because it expands our horizons, it expands what we know, it expands what we what we think is even possible. And so I'm convinced that believers, even if it's going to the Good News Rescue Mission and seeing what takes place there, because that's a different culture.
Totally different culture.
That's right here in Redding, and we can see how God is working there and think, well, why doesn't he do stuff like that here? Why can't he? And maybe the answer is because we're too complacent and lukewarm and need to kick it up a notch because of what we've seen him do somewhere else.
That's great. All right, that's like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Did you have any questions for yourself?
Why did I go